Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see and I'm sorry about that, but October threw me some curveballs and life stuff happened and there was some stuff I had to deal with my family and I just lost all motivation to create content and read books. Therefore I couldn't really make any booktube videos, so I just took a break. But I'm back again today. Fun fact, I've actually tried filming this video twice already, but I just wasn't happy with either of them because I was trying to force myself to make a TBR because I thought structuring a TBR would motivate me to read again. But every time I pulled out prompts and chose books, I wasn't interested in any of them. So I just kind of let my mind wander. I stared at my bookshelf and I picked out a few books that were kind of catching my attention. Because you know when you're in like a reading slump and you want to read but you're not sure what to read, but there's a few books that kind of look good to you there and then and you want to give them a go. That's kind of where I'm at in my reading slump progress. I want to read again, I'm just not kind of motivated to pick up books. So what I did was I took some time yesterday and looked at my bookshelves and just kind of pulled out a few books that kind of looked interesting to me for now. So for once I'm actually kind of letting myself mood read in the month of November, which is very strange to say because I'm such a tick off to-do list type of person. That's why I love making TBRs, because I love the satisfaction of ticking off a book once I've read it. However, we're just gonna mood read. So here goes. I'm just going to talk through some books that are kind of interesting me at the minute to pick up. And actually I started a book yesterday, which is shock horror. I said to myself, just read a chapter, Rachel, settle down in bed, read a chapter, and if you don't want to read after that, that's fine, at least you've tried. 100 pages later, I was still reading, so I'm really, really happy about that. And that book actually was The Danger Gang by Tom Fletcher. This is the naked hardback. The dust jacket's over there on my bookshelf because obviously I started reading it. I'm 100 pages in. 100 pages might seem like really like, oh my god, how did you read 100 pages on your first day kind of out of a reading slump? But this book is full of illustrations and fun fonts, so the amount of words per page is minimal. However, I absolutely love Tom Fletcher's writing and the way he creates worlds and characters. It's so fun and magical. This book followed a main character called Frankie, who him and his family have just moved to a town called Freaky, and he's writing letters to his best friend that he left in his old town, Greyville. And basically his mum is this mad scientist inventor and she's in the process of creating this device that allows you to change the weather there and then. If you want sun, you can get sun. If you want rain, you can get rain by like a laser flash of the button sort of thing. And I think one night the new device that his mum is inventing kind of just goes haywire and allows loads of freaky stuff to go on in the town. So yeah, it's just a fun, quick read that I'm actually really enjoying. I just wanted a fast-paced book and I definitely think this is going to be a great book to read to get me out of my reading slump. I'm really enjoying it so far. I love all of Tom Fletcher's books, to be fair. I love the Christmassaurus, I love the Creakers. This is his third like big middle grade. He does like other more children picture books, but this is his like third actual novel middle grade, and I'm really, really enjoying it and it's living up to the rest of Tom Fletcher's books. So I'm glad I picked this one up. And because obviously I'm trying to get out of a reading slump, I don't want to force myself to read too dense of a text. So most of these books are middle grade, which I'm absolutely fine with. The next book I'm kind of interested in picking up in November, if I can get round to it, is Drumroll Please by Jenn Bigelow, I think is how you pronounce her name. This is a middle grade book about two best friends who spend their summer at a music camp. I get camp rock vibes and I'm just really, really intrigued to see kind of where this story goes and how it develops and if the character development is good. That's kind of what I love about middle grade, is there's no expectation on amazing writing and a really brilliant character arc, but I always feel like middle grades deliver that, because they are addressing younger people, and if the books are written really well, they tend to just exceed all my expectations. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about this one. Melissa, who joined the school band because of her best friend Olivia, and it turns out that the main character loves playing drums. So they go to this music camp for the summer called Camp Rockaway. But the summer is full of surprises that throws Mellie's life out of sync. Her parents just reveal that they're splitting up. and Olivia seems to be growing apart, but Melly finds herself unexpectedly falling for another girl at camp. I didn't actually know this is LGBTQ, so that's brilliant. Melly's not really sure if she has what it takes to be a rock and roll drummer. Will she be able to make music from the noise in her heart? This sounds so sweet and I'm really, really excited to get to it. So yeah, another middle grade on my tentative November TBR. Let's just get all the middle grades out of the way because I have a couple of non-middle grades, but let's leave those till last because they probably will be the last books I get round to once I've like killed this reading slump of all the middle grade that I want to read. So the next middle grade I want to get to is Wonderscape by Jennifer Bell. This is like, I want to say it's like a Warcross style middle grade. So Warcross is written by Marie Lu and it's kind of like a video game and you enter the video game and kind of see what the adventure holds, actually playing it out rather than just playing it behind a screen style. I think that's kind of what this book is about. And it says, when Arthur, Ren and Cecily investigate a mysterious explosion, they find themselves trapped in the year 2473. Lost in the world of Wonderscape, an epic in reality adventure game, they must call on help of some unlikely historical heroes to play their way home before time runs out. And I think this would just be a really fast-paced, fun adventure fantasy. It's not my typical genre, but it seems like such a fun read and the cover is absolutely stunning. So I'm interested in getting to this one. It's kind of lower on my TBR than the other books, but definitely still of interest for me in November. My camera is flashing at me. Brilliant. We're going back to a firm favourite, and that is another Tom Fletcher book. This is the second book in the Christmassaurus. I don't know if it's a duology or a series or what, but I absolutely adored the first book, just the Christmassaurus. And then Tom Fletcher revealed that he was bringing out the Christmassaurus and the Winter Witch, and I've had this on my shelf for since publication, which I think was a couple of years ago. And I have not read it yet. And seeing as Tom Fletcher's books are being brilliant to me at the minute, I am putting this one on my TBR because it's November and for me that basically means that Christmas is here. So what better way to spend the UK's second national lockdown? Just heard a noise and I'm home by myself. Anyway, let's finish before my camera dies. So yeah, so what better way than to curl up with a Christmas book to fight the blues of a second lockdown. So yeah, that's the second one. I have no idea what it's about because it's a second book in a series, but the Christmassaurus basically follows a little boy who is a wheelchair user. He loves Christmas and he loves dinosaurs. So one day when the Christmassaurus turns up, the dinosaur from the North Pole, they go on lots of adventures together, and this is just the follow-up of that. The last two books I have to talk about are both blue. Surprise, surprise, most of my TBR are blue books, to be fair. The first one is Head Over Heels by Hannah Orenstein, I think is how you pronounce her last name. This is a gymnastics romance sort of novel. It basically follows a gymnast who is in the Olympic Games. This is one of Emily's from alittlewriterem. I'll link her channel down below. We have such similar reading taste. If I see a book on her channel that she recommends, I know that if I pick it up, I'll absolutely enjoy it. And she loves this one. It's one of her most recommended books of 2020. So I'm really, really eager to get to it. I actually discovered it before Emily spoke about it on her channel because I love gymnastics. I used to do gymnastics. I always watched gymnastics on TV, but I've never read a book about it. So I was really, really interested to pick it up. So I picked it up, and then Emily spoke about it and I knew that I had to go higher up on my TBR for sure. I'm actually really intrigued to get to it because it's a contemporary. It shouldn't take me too long to get through, but it's not a middle grade, so there's lots of words per page. So we'll actually see if this one can get me out of my reading slump. As I've said previous, this is just a tentative November TBR, so we will see what happens. I might not pick up any of these books, but as of today, the 3rd of November, these are the books I'm currently interested in. And the last one I'm interested in is I Killed Zoe Spanos by Kit Frick. To be honest, I know nothing about this book, so let's discover together what this book is about. What happened to Zoe won't stay buried. When Anna arrives in the Hamptons for a summer nanny gig, she finds a community on edge after a disappearance of Zoe Spanos, a local girl who has been missing since New Year's Eve. Anna bears an eerie resemblance to Zoe, and as she learns more about the unresolved case, she becomes convinced that she and Zoe are connected and that she knows what happens to her. 2 months later, Zoe's body is found and Anna is charged with manslaughter. Anna's confession is riddled with holes, and Martina Green, teen host of the Missing Zoe podcast, isn't satisfied. Did Anna really kill Zoe? If not, can Martina's podcast uncover the truth? Interesting. Definitely outside my comfort zone. I don't tend to read thrillers or any sort of mysteries, to be fair. This actually reminds me of Sadie by Courtney Stevens, with the podcast and the murder aspect and the podcast trying to find out what happens. So I am interested in reading this one, but I think out of all of them, this is definitely lowest on my TBR just because it is so completely outside of my comfort zone, which I don't recommend when getting out of a reading slump. So yeah, so those are all the books I'm kind of interested in reading at the minute. Obviously, I'm 100 pages into The Danger Gang by Tom Fletcher, and I'm going to try and finish this before I start any of the other ones. And yeah, I'm excited to see how this one ends, what kind of happens in the next 300 or so pages. I think this is just over a 400-page book. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Very kind of chilled, laid back one because I'm trying to get out of a reading slump. I'm trying to get back into making content for you guys. So very just chilled. I'm in my cozy knit cardigan. It's got a lot darker because the sun has gone. When I started filming, the sun was out and now it's completely grey clouds. British weather for you through and through. So yeah, that's it for today's video. If you like what you saw and like what you heard, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of me. And be sure to check out the description, as there's always all my social media links and links to the books I mentioned and other things that I've mentioned. I'll link Emily's channel down below as well. That always has all the juicy secrets, that description box, so always go and check that out. But without further ado, I'll see you in my next video, whenever that is. See you next time, guys. Bye. Do you think I can become a mood reader, or do you think I will return quickly to my structured TBRs? Only a month wait to find out. Click left to watch my previous month's TBR where I did a apple bobbing spooky edition, or click right to watch my most recent reading vlog where I read over 800 pages in a weekend. Feel free to stick around, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.